Hey everybody, it is Alexandrake. Once again we're playing the Letter. So last time, I kind of feel bad what I did to Sat there. I really did not mean for that to escalate the way it did. Frankly, Hannah needs friends. She didn't need to start flirting in the first place, but I should have behaved myself. However, I have sat too much, so I feel so guilty, and yet I felt, I don't want to say justified, but I don't want Hannah to have him. I'm sorry. So, the previous game I just played is so stressful. So stressful. So I thought, let's unwind with a nice visual novel horror game. Why not, you know? Let's do this. Let's begin. Entering the dining hall causes me so much confusion. It is dark. For a moment I thought the electric work is not up to par. But that entirely is not the case, as the other room is bright with artificial light. Finding the light switch is a monumental task, considering the size and the unfamiliarity with this room. To make matters worse, the darkness grants the room a different atmosphere, eerie and frightening. That is slightly turned red. It might be me. It takes longer than I thought I'd find a switch, something that would have been rectified later on. My skin starts to prickle, and there is a distant feeling of being watched. It unsettles me, and only spurs me on a search. Ooh, hello. And when I do, I open the lights, there's a hiss.
I'll turn the lights down, woman!
Something worse than a spooky monster. A rich racist. Turn the lights down, he says that. There at the end of the hall is my beloved husband with his face in one hand and the glass in the other. Perhaps I can get a dough if it's only one glass of wine. However, I can feel myself dough yiffid after seeing the toxidrine yitwidine mottery at me.
Luke, what? Are you drinking absinthe? You know what the doctor said. Absinthe, Luke. Are you actively trying to kill yourself?
Huh. Never knew it was green.
Because if you are, we can just hit you with a bloody car.
Oh. Nice.
Honeybee, Buttercup, not too loud, please. Besides, it's Lelouch, not too strong. Just hair of the dog that bit me. Helps with the hangover, dearest.
You drank? When?
This morning, love. Don't be mad. I just needed a few drinks, having to deal with those simpletons. And maybe I had one too much. You don't see me whinging about you leaving me to handle them on my own.
I had to attend the photo shoot and interview with Luxury Living. You know that. Let's not make this about me, Luke. This is about you and your drinking problem and...
Oh, I don't know, Hannah, darling. What if my drinking problem, as you like to call it, is linked to you?
Maybe the tar running down over is an option we can take.
If we think about it that way, this discussion is about you. That was pretty mean of you, leaving me alone to do all the work like that.
You didn't have to sing the vein.
You can't use the interview as an excuse either, honey. I was informed the moment your little interview was done. So, what was it then, What were you doing?
I was with Sattery, I was tending the gardens. I'm not going to choose that option, because I don't want him to go after Sat.
I was just tending to the garden, sweetie.
Ah, you chip. Interesting.
You were?
For a moment he stepped at the door. I can tell the demon in his eyes and the way he sits up in the tension. He thinks I'm lying, but I see no point in bringing up Sattery and advocating him. Yeah, precisely. I've already done enough damage. I did tend to the gardens for a bit, so it's not a complete lie. Just your white lie. Besides, I know just how to appease him. Soldiering over and searching around him, I placed my fingers on his shoulders. Yeah, so you... Well. Now I want that drunt and erase that part image from my head. Ever again. Melting like butter as I...
I had to make sure they didn't ruin your favorite daffodils.
Oh, that is wonderful.
I'm not sure if he means the massage or the flowers, but I'll take it. It is better than a fight.
So, absinthe.
Just one glass. Loosh.
I suppose I can let this one go. A bit too late anyway, you've already drank half the thing. But remember your doctor's orders.
Yes, I'll try to drink less.
Try.
Hey, I'm only human. Do you want one?
Oh my god.
No, thank you.
Supper is spent in silence with nothing but the occasional sound of silverware. A drowned feast has been served, well, drowner than usual anyway, most likely due to the use and complaints of stress. Oh my god, that's beautiful. Not sure about that part there, but that's nice. A platter of native oysters for starters, and a tranche of turbot with, I don't know, with purple, something rich. With purple sprouting, broccoli, Yemen tapers, and anchovies sauce with them. Ooh. That Yemen seen better days, but it's not bad. Oh my! Oh hey! Whoa! Finish it off, beat tea and dairy syrups, buns, pudding with toasted. Oh. Which sound? When our appetite and appeases and plates have been turned away, Ute stands tissing me tonight and leaves me to stare at my half-empty tub. Yearning in the old night, I sit in a house too big and too empty, foreign and unwelcoming. In its warm tone and homely decor, it feels toad. There's no need for tears, however I know I can get through this or any other obstacle I have faced before. This is a minor setback in what I hope will be a young and happy life. To remind myself of this place for Ute and our future children fills me with a renewed vigor. Besides, it's like someone is having a try already. The rain is far away and muffled. Yet at the same time it takes me to my very core as I hear it. As if the suffering is just standing right beside me. Hearing the sudden sound chill down my spine and makes my skin prickle with goosebumps. Who is that? Oh dear. Curious things seen as I follow the sorrowful sounds into the kitchen and into the wine cellar hatch.
Hello? Is anybody down there?
I'm curious and concerned, but there's no way I'm going down in the dark and humid underground. I'm not as fierce as duty and considers himself quite to honest to. However, I also cannot bring myself to go to bed with this rapping going on. If it's one in the household help, they will surely need some talking. After all, this wouldn't be the first time John had found one of the maids sobbing their eyes out over one thing or another. As professional as staffs are, they're still human. More often than not, it was either Johans who calmed them down, who helped them figure out how to go on about things. Fortunately, I'm not in high spirits right now, so I'm not as wholly beneficent. I'm just calling him out. I knocked 3 times. Waiting for any sort of replies, yields me no assault, and I have already touched the floor hatch far too many times than what I would like. I take a deep breath before reaching on out to den to whoever's inside. I learned from my experience that people respond better to tidings than threats. Signing or angry would not help totes in the mid.
You, in the cellar? Do come out. We don't want Luke waking up and finding you in there, do we? That man would go ballistic thinking someone was trying to steal his precious wine.
Still nothing.
You can have a good cry. Just not in there, yes? Why don't you come out here and we can have a cuppa and you can tell me all about whatever it is you're bawling about?
With how you and I am standing here, however, I'm starting to think myself as a fool. I do not want to acknowledge the other feeling I have, especially as the way into an eerie turn. The thought of being played with didn't sit too well with me, and I had to stop myself from getting too hot-headed as I tried one more time.
Now you come out of there! That is an order from the lady of the house, do you hear me? Why, I ought to...
I freeze as a hand champs down on my shoulder. Dread I've been feeling all this time makes itself known as I kneel, unmoving, not even daring to breathe. I can feel my heart pound against my chest. but the touch is done as tedious as it sees me. It is only Jonas I see when I look back.
Apologies, madam, for touching you like that. You were not responding to my voice, and you looked about ready to wake the whole mansion up.
I'm sorry. I was getting rather loud, wasn't I? But that crying woman in there, we must do something about her.
He rose silent for a moment, just gets concerned. At least I like to interpret it as concern, given how stoic our head butler usually is. Or rather, it must have been concern as he takes off a glove and presses the back of his hand at my forehead for his worrisome injury.
I beg your pardon. What crying woman? Are you feeling well, madam?
In the cellar. Can't you hear her?
Madam, Hannah, no one is down there.
What?
The cellar is locked. Only Luke and I have duplicates of the keys. Nobody is down there.
I stare at him in disbelief. But when I listen once more, I hear no chime. Tearing our hats within measure proved his words to be true, too. Oh, no, I wanted to open it now. Ah, damn it. The fiend won't budge, and yes, I had the tea, sort of using power tools on it.
Perhaps it is time for you to go to bed, madam. You are simply tired and hearing things, a perfectly normal human experience. But if you are still experiencing auditory hallucinations in the morning, you are free to consult with me.
I had your hands. He's a good butler. Very good butler. Not sure if his suit goes well with his hair, but, you know, good butler nonetheless. Sorry, what was that? What he says makes sense, and who am I to question someone who used to be a doctor? Oh, he used to be a doctor. Well, dang. I'm just tired, that's it. Yon day of movement, the interview dealing with you, that has all drained me of any proper sense.
Yes, I suppose you're right. I just need some sleep, that's all.
Of course I'm right. Go on then. Gute Nacht.
Oh, he's German, that's the accent. So good night, got it.
Good night, Johannes. Good night, house.
I don't know why I feel that earlier, I don't know. That is a giraffe. I'm sorry, there's year to that archway. Giraffe, toad, heating, you're waiting, there's so much heating. I know you're rich and all, but come on. Ugh, too toad. It was just fatigue. That's what I keep telling myself, although I can't ignore the strange feeling in my gut. Either there is something wrong with this house, or there is something wrong with my head. Yeah. Sheep would be a Yusuf tonight. Usually dawn by the time I rise. There is a single hide or nor hair of him to be found. Trying to tour him on his mobile is a bust, as it only goes straight to voicemail. That's twice in a row he's dawned on me. And for him to disappear today of all days is every bit upsetting because of what's to come. The morning is once again filled with whirlwind of activity. Fortunately, I'm much more refreshed as I did a break from my responsibilities. I haven't the faintest clue where youth was yesterday. Today is going to be a busy day, though on Wednesday, the master of the house isn't here right now. Absent once again from his duties. Hopefully he'll be back in time for the party. It is our house, after all. A grand housewarming party for the wonderful Wright Mansion. Every person of importance from yacht builders and fighting, there will be a few guests thrown in as well. Of course, there'll be some people from media, young friends and acquaintances, who are made no less important regardless of the status in society. Marianne had discussed business in the last minute touches to the house before finalizing everything. I need to buy the soundtrack so much. Not that there's much change from my original plans. But any huge additions to the property itself, the mansion is nearly 100% complete.
You have certainly exceeded expectations, Marianne. Everything looks so marvelous, and in such a short time, too.
Well, I can't take all the credit. People have certainly been enthusiastic about the idea of working on the Wright mansion. There won't be any more problems unless Mr. Wright has any more objections about the second bedroom.
You and I had a small tiff about making the second bedroom into a child's playroom, which I insisted isn't pretty practical. didn't give him any choice in the matter. Even brought this wonderful wooden crib from the antique store yesterday, tuned some toys. Just in case anyone brings their baby, of course. Besides, we have little need for actual guest rooms. We hardly have guests who spend the night. If we absolutely have to, we often choose to foot the bill for their visit on one of our hotels instead. Always at each own insistence. Okay. And on the off chance, we actually let someone stay. The bedroom in the opposite wing is still up to the task.
Oh, no. We proceed with that room as planned. I already agreed to him having his greenhouse and his vineyard and his stables. He may as well let me have this one thing.
No, I did not agree to him having a helipad.
All right, then. Well, do we have any other concerns? Anything we need to put on our agenda before the party commences?
No, I don't think so. Not unless Luke has anything else to say.
Is he around then? It'd be best if we can note down his requests right away, considering the scope of his usual ones.
Around? No. Where is he? Who knows where? I don't.
No, he's not around.
She didn't have to point out the obvious now, did she? After 7 odd years, I've gotten used to him. I should be by now. Still not apparently.
But don't you have a party?
I would never more want into the pain to whinge about how unfair this is. How airing out one's dirty laundry is simply taboo among the high society. To do so would make you a retarded for the next dinner party chit-chat. Vultures, a lot of them, really. Well, if you're rich, you gotta talk about something. I guess that's what they do. Or most of them, at least. There's always good ones, like Rochelle Yee. But put your trust in the wrong person, you find yourself on a pitted path.
Yes. But Luke's just being a sweetie, you see. That friend he's visiting. He's having marital problems and he's just trying to cheer him up.
Perhaps I'm being a bit too rash, a bit too hot-headed in devolving details, but I thought myself careful the plan to dress it up as gossip. Marianne's raised brow made me unsure whether she's interested or not. I know that doesn't make things better if she has no interest and therefore has no hidden intent to use whatever I may say to her.
They've been married for a long time and they've hit a... how do they say it? A rough patch. His wife has a drinking problem and can be very neglectful. The poor thing really does his best to be a good husband. But it's never enough for her. Sometimes I think it's the years. Maybe it's been so long that they've lost that romantic spark. What do you think?
You were asking for my personal opinion on the matter, ma'am? Do you want me to be honest, or...
Be honest.
Be honest with me, Marianne. I don't need someone to sugarcoat it.
Court achievement, nice.
I'm not some fragile thing that I'm just going to break down at the slightest thing.
Oh, I'm improving Marianne's relationship. Nice. She hesitates, taking a sip of toffee while I stare into my own cup of tea. The silence stretches on, and I almost believe that she will never answer my question. I suppose I shouldn't blame her putting her in the tight spot like this. Her hesitation is understandable, though I loathe to admit it. She simply wants this whole thing to stay professional. But then she speaks.
If I'm going to be completely honest, I need to ask. This is about you and Mr. Wright, isn't it?
It's my turn to hesitate now. I didn't expect such a straightforward question. And then to the heart of the matter, I suppose I'm not as careful as I like to think. Was it really that bad as an outsider can see our usual marital troubles? Surely we are not that obvious, are we? We put up the art of a perfect couple for years, although it hasn't always been an act. Marianne is just more teen than the average person, of course. It's a necessity for her career. She's been working so closely with us. Yes, that's it.
Suppose it is. What would you tell me?
Then, I tell you it's none of my business. I tell you that I don't want to meddle. But, if the troubled husband with the neglectful wife asked me for my honest opinion, I'd say that he shouldn't base his happiness and his self-worth on someone else. Someone who won't even give him the time of the day. Maybe he should try being independent for a while. See what it's like when he isn't trying to please someone else and doing things for himself. Everyone's supposed to be their own man or woman, right? A bit of breathing room never hurt anyone. That's just my 2 pence worth, of course.
Not bad.
So you're saying they should divorce?
Oh.
Nothing as drastic as that. If they're afraid that it might lead to just that, then maybe that is what's meant to happen in the first place. We shouldn't let our fear control our lives.
Am I shipping Hannah and Marianne together? Maybe. Can I pull it off? We shall certainly try.
But it's just a short hiatus is all. Or, couples therapy? And look, I'm really not the best person to ask about relationships. So grain of salt and all that.
To show us off, having said a piece, it leaves nothing but a smell of toffee and Earl Grey between us. There is a charm despite nature of what has just been discussed. To say that her words made me start to faint is an understatement. To say that I'm not considering her advice is a lie. And to say that this might just be a calm before the storm is a possibility. Others may have a sort of marriage, yes, but many have celebrated young and happy ones as well. My own parents celebrated their choral anniversary before they passed away. Oh wow. But 7 years? 7 years isn't the whole yacht in the grand scheme of things. It isn't a whole lot of time to see what and where the relationship can bring us. At the same time, 7 years. Well, it hasn't been entirely made of unhappy years, has it? I won't last forever. It's not supposed to anyway. I just dread the thought that it might last for a very long time. I dread the thought that these small spats, disagreements, will turn into an all-out resentment. No. The idea that we grow to hate each other and with every fibre of being stares me. I can't even pinpoint the exact moment when our beautiful union turned sour. When did he start to seek out women? He acted any ulterior motives? When did we start to coordinate, only to suit our materialistic greed and tension-seeking ways? Money and success? Fame and glory? Are those the only reasons we still stay together? There's a talk between Marianne clears her throat. I must have been quiet for so long that I move to apologise when she stands up. We'll end up on our feet and sure how to proceed. Some sort of odd and awkward shuffle occurs as we decide whether to sit back down or not.
I really should handle what's left of the work.
You won't be attending the party? Oh, you really must, Marianne.
I'll try to stay and chat. Maybe grab a few bites and a drink, but I can't be around for the entirety of the event. My apologies. Busy, busy, busy.
You must stay a while. I'd love for you to meet some of my friends, and they're ever so excited to meet you. You need to say hello to the Lees, at least. If it wasn't for them, I'd never even heard of you.
We'll see. So, if I can be excused?
Certainly. You'll have to excuse me as well. I must attend to the party before any early birds arrive. Because, believe me, they will throw a fuss if things aren't ready, even when they're not supposed to be here until an hour later.
Interesting. Very interesting. Seen outside, the party was great, an organised mess. Aside from our own household help, we hired the service of the Temp agency, which provides staff for the right enterprise in the hospitality section. Even our very skilled staff can undertake the party of this size on their own. Oh wow. Waiters, busboys, hostess, and their staff, captains move about in drones, carrying crockery? I don't know. Serveware and did for several dozen people and then some. Wow. Chefs and bartenders tear after Johannes, getting the eyes steady to tune as he escorts them through the kitchen onto the wine cellar. To suit the starts as yet, what can be served at the party and what can be used for titting.
Schnell! We have a lot to do and I believe we did not hire snails. Snails are for the dishes.
A string quartet readies up to play for the evening, turning their instruments as they fill the air with idle chatter. Furore de tour worth thousands, fill faces, wreaths, and baskets, while petals are scattered beyond the driveway up front. Ooh, that's nice. I sculpture a reindeer is brought carefully by pair. It is followed by a simple take, just 5-tier white chiffon, one with white chocolate, mousse, fresh berries, and a light dusting of edible dirty. Oh my god, it is 5. Damn! Food. But aside the fact that I told Marianne how I would tend to all of this, I find myself unable to focus or care for any of it. I still have discussions running in my mind, and all of this. I only see Ute everywhere. There was all the drowned things that Ute wanted to have for the party. I had wanted a small and simple gathering with only a selected few invited, namely the people who I'd actually trust to enter my home. I didn't want any bloody politicians or paparazzi in here, no matter how used I am to catering them.
At least be here for your party. Damn it, Luke.
The entire thing streamed Ute right. I can't help but add another question to my growing list of worries. When did I use myself? It's always been about him nowadays, isn't it? What about Hannah Wright? What about Hannah Evans? They should be her own woman who made her own name, her own career, and her own decisions. Sure, I was already the social butterfly that I still am today, but it was no empty. Cheryl would also been sitting pretty. I was also lured for my knowledge and talents. Finance manager wasn't just handed to me just because my father owned the company. I insisted that I start at the bottom so I should work my way to the top and prove myself. And I did. I worked numbers, managed budgets, money, accounts, analysed the competition and market trends. There was calculation of financial risk, cost reduction opportunities, auditor liaisons, and public relations, supervision of the staff, and well, I generally had a huge slew of responsibilities. Admittedly, I was already quite the attention seeker even back then, having dedicated most of my youth craving for my parents' approval. Failing that, I turned to the others, yet for praise from anyone who would give it, however fleeting it all was. And Ute? Oh, Ute. The only way Ute had me, the way he watched me and took out a general interest. He had me disgustedly observed since day one, hasn't he? He saw me for me, Hannah Evans, with both my faults and my achievements. The man didn't treat me like some damsel in distress or some prize to be won. I remember the nights before we were married, when we talked about everything and anything. From big things like business, society, philosophy, to little things such as that we had for breakfast or whether we liked cats or dogs more. We both prefer dogs. Nowadays, I'm just Ute Wright's wife. It's mostly my fault, isn't it? They told me that her husband preferred wives who are docile and subordinate. A woman who's always be there for him, yet will never outshine him in all aspects except beauty. A wife needs to be at home and attend to his needs, to have children, and to take care of them in his absence. They say I have no business working anymore after I was married. I can blame society. But I listened. For I can fall further into this introspective pit of self-loathing someone tools for my attention.
The guests have arrived, madam.
Well, that was very deep, very sudden. Maybe I judged her too harshly. Maybe.
And Luke?
Running a bit late, I'm afraid.
Late for his own party. That man, I swear. He's probably looking to make a dramatic entrance, knowing him. Open the doors, then. We mustn't tarry.
Cars shine up the driveway, peppering the front of the mansion with vehicles of every kind. Grand Warriors, supercars, and even the odd high-end muscle tower too. Convertibles, Drans, Saloons. I probably have butchered something there. And other electric cars can be seen being parked by families. A handful of tabs drive off, possibly for those who thought it was too troublesome to bring their own cars. There are these two different media fans as well. They're all here for what may be considered the biggest event of the year for Luxborn. So far. Who knows what we'll plan for the winter holidays?
Welcome, welcome everyone. Please make yourselves at home.
Some of the desk idle, join the warm, if not the strange sunshine we have experienced before dreamy skies and the inevitable return. The direct acquaintance and friends with warm smiles, others yes so. Where I stand, I can see the hierarchy of power that ties, that bind these individuals here, whether through conventions or necessity. However, there's always a few who are not here to further cement their current place in high society. Oh! Ash. Okay. Said us that young man with his oriental air, ignorant of the yuts he receives from women and men alike.
Be careful with Shirley, alright?
Or that rose-haired woman twirling her phone while she gets unsure why she is here exactly. Oh, better. What the hell?
Yes, I'm at the party already, Mom. Yes, I'll say hi to her if I can.
I see Satchel, the photographer, as well. Oh. He talks to a few of the other media crew with the air of familiarity.
I was just here a few days ago, yeah. And the inside is huge, but the staff are pretty helpful if you get lost.
And there are the people who have the chief inspector. People I can never be too sure about. People who stand on the border between suspicious and being trustworthy.
Thank you for the invite, Anna.
Oh, the voice.
Husband still missing, I see.
I should be saying the same of your darling Rochelle, Lee.
Oh. I don't want to stall something. But 2 missing partners.
The doctors again?
She told me she'll just be in the gardens. Bet she's lying and that she's somewhere around mingling, gossiping with the other ladies. It's no offense, but that seems to be all you ladies do at these parties.
And aren't you gossiping right now?
Yes, well, what about Luke? Should we file a missing persons report now, or do you want to wait 24 hours?
He's around.
You know, I can tell if someone's bluffing. Don't tell me, let me guess. He's finally drunken himself to death and not wanting a scandal, you've hidden his body. I was wanting to give this housewarming gift to him personally, too. It's a plate that holds a wine glass so he can stop killing himself with liquid lunches. Looks like it's too late for that.
Nothing like that. Besides, this is a hardly polite conversation.
Oh, relax. I'm just trying to be cheeky to lighten the mood. It's not like I want Luke dead. The man doesn't serve dodgy plonk like the others when I visit, and he pays his respects well enough. I could use a glass of wine or 3, actually. Rochelle's been in a horrid mood. Threw her stilettos at me the other day and almost took an eye out. Not sure if this is how it usually goes, but I blame the pregnancy.
I wouldn't know, would I?
Still no plans for a baby? I guess that's for the best. If it's this bad now, I can't even imagine how bad it'll be when that little baby bump becomes huge.
Have I mentioned how I don't trust him no matter how hard I try to do so? A easy broad diff, I suppose.
Why don't you just go inside and have some wine, Lee?
Men.
Think I will, thanks.
Greetings such as this, tarry on as the destined to Tritwin. Where we have short conversation and me shake hands and nod heads, I make sure to attend the welcome each of them. As the first hour passes by, the rest of us stragglers and I adjourn to the ballroom. And the 88 Thomas will have the attention of the porter instead. I have other duties to attend to now. Ooh, nice. Hosting parties is always the same old song and dance, no matter how big or small it is. To make sure your guests are well fed, have a good company, and have them generally enjoying themselves. So when my opening remarks are done, when the band has started to play and the guests have started eating, I find myself wandering around aimlessly, and yes, I am pulled aside. Oh, okay. For a while, I stay with a small group and entertain them before I snooze myself. When they're not anymore watching me, I end up watching them. When they don't listen, I do. A little banker is having trouble with his daughter. He wishes to marry her off, but she wants nothing more but to make music. One of our hotel managers worried about the story and belongings of one of his patrons, a vain insecurity, which should be brought up to the higher authority soon. Our mayor, well, his cat died. And then there's this road-haired woman once again. It's hard not to notice her with her distinct yaps. She also yaks the dress that other ladies have, though that does not make her any less beautiful. Her stance and the air she used instead are strong and make her stand out despite the casual attire. Many men have already given her their attention, and though each invitation to dance has been turned down. I approach and treat, though this is no great mystery what occupies her own attention, with the glances she keeps sending towards the boy with the oriental hair. She remains unaware, though, even as I stand beside her, pretending that I'm here for a drink.
You would catch his eye a lot better if you wore nicer clothes, don't you think?
Didn't realize the housewarming was going to be this fancy. I would have gone with a nice dress if I knew.
Oh, you're fine, dearie. It's only really the parvenus, those who climb, that come to these parties all dolled up. Quite the black-haired beauty, isn't he?
Boy comes over, but I do nothing to speak any softer. He merely passes by, and it is a wonder he doesn't hear what I say.
Who, Ash?
You know, you really shouldn't have turned down those offers. If I wasn't married, I'd happily go dancing with those young men. But you said a name. Ash. That's the exquisite lad you've been looking at all this time. I don't know him, and I'm the one hosting this party. That must mean you know each other. Is he your boyfriend then? Because that would explain those rejections.
In all my life, I've never seen a face grow red so fast. Gossip. The shade of her hair did not help as well. This is the most pink I've seen on a person, really.
What? No, that's ridiculous. He isn't my boyfriend.
Such a violent reaction. A simple no would have sufficed. Many here would be happy to hear it.
And I haven't been looking at him.
Oh, better.
That's right. You've been staring. Quite heatedly, in fact. Although I'm not sure if you look like you want to kiss him or kill him.
It's more the latter, currently.
Just don't go murdering him on my property. I don't want to walk into a room and suddenly find a body there.
I waver as I feel the burning of someone's stares. It is chilling, and though I am used to enduring the days of others, this one makes the hairs on the back of my neck stand out. Oh! There she is. My attention is pulled from the door, and I see a woman staring. Dark hair and dirty, she gets straight more at her bed than the desk. And I have half the mind to as sturdy as her when her mouth breaks out into a grin. All I hear is yapping. Taunting. Her stare makes my blood run cold. She hits me, yet I am nothing but a pit too short to her amusement. It makes my hands shake, and I nearly drop my drink. But then the drink she's done, and the buzz of the party returns.
I'll keep that in mind, but are you all right?
Yes, sorry. I just thought I saw something strange. It must be the trick of the light. Anyway, on a right, as you must already know.
Rebecca Gales.
Gales.
The name is familiar to fond memory. Reunion. I recall a tiny lady, a private tutor who treated me like her own daughter when I was young. She would bring me food when there was no need to do so. Usually stoves, which I honestly haven't been too keen about, though. I ate them nonetheless, because she brought them for me.
Oh, the professor! And your little Becky!
Oh!
My parents couldn't make it since they're in Scotland right now. And Mom says
Okay,
hi, by the way.
Otherwise, I thought Betty was way older than I thought she was. Okay, didn't think that's... You know what? Let's move past it. Never mind. You know what I said. Bye.
But yeah, that's me. Little Becky. We met once before.
Yes, oh, I remember you! You were the cutest little thing with glasses! And when we met, you were having boy troubles with this lad called something with an A. What was it again? Aaron, Alan, Adele. Albert? Alexander? Andrew?
The more I used of the names, the more red and more quiet better depths. She starts to get a bit miserable as her own body language shows discomfort and stiffness. Perhaps I've triggered a horrid childhood memory. Sure, I haven't been the mean when she visited with her mother. I don't quite remember all of it.
Ashton! Ash! That man is that boy! The same one. Oh, goodness me, after all these years! I can see why, though. He's quite dashing.
You don't really need to announce it to everyone within earshot, you know? Keep it down.
I'm so sorry, but it really is cute.
And a tad bit sad. Whoa! Easy.
So, this is a nice party, Miss Wright.
Please, Anna is fine. We're friends of a sort, aren't we? We must be friends, seeing as I know about your little infatuation, Becky. Don't you worry, dearie. You'll have your happy ending yet.
I hope Bed has an happy ending. I don't want the two to never tear to find you.
I'm not too concerned about that, am I? That's not what I'm looking for.
Oh? And what makes you think that? Doesn't everybody want their happy ending?
The idea of happy endings sounds like they're just for fairy tales. And they are, sorta. I don't think you can just sit around, trapped in some tower and hope for the best. If you love them, you have to fight for it, right? You're not just going to sit there and hope that everything will just fix itself on its own. Like everything, you have to work at it. But what do I know?
Here's the Drimmit, so though she starts to react around my presence, how long has it been since we met as children? Certainly on time. She was tiny back then, if I recall correctly.
I'm sure the daughter of the two greatest professors I've ever known is smart enough to know what she's talking about. But have you told him how you feel? And it's been what? 20 years?
17, actually. But no, not yet. He can be a bit dense. I was hoping that maybe he'd notice on his own and...
Well, that won't do. What if you two become husband and wife? He's not to be dense when he's sworn himself to another person. Why, you might just as well consider leaving before the day's even begun.
If that happens, I'll have to give him a good ear bashing, won't I? Whoever anyone ends up with, it's not going to be a perfect relationship anyway. There's going to be things you'll love and things you'll hate about the other person. We're just humans. It's funny. Here I am, trying to give you advice when you did the very same thing back then. I remember you giving me a makeover when we were still kids. And you were the first I told anyone about my... crush.
I do remember that now that she mentions it. Did I give her that yellow summer dress with a pink blouse and petticoat? She must have kept some of what I said in mind. It feels ridiculous remembering all that years later talking about boys and how they don't trace for pretty dolls, as if it's some gospel every woman should adhere to. It was so easy to say such things then, with me not knowing any better. Though even her now, she must have kept some of what I said in mind. Perhaps I did say something to her at the time, though for her to take it to heart. But all that didn't matter in the moment as I mull over what she just said in my head. What Bella told me is very different from what Marianne told me. There's no time to ponder over that. However, as a hush descends upon the once cheerful crowd, news and strange chatter slow to a grind halt as doors from the foyer opens. The ass of the aid-timer should have arrived moments ago. Anyone else this yet would simply be too embarrassed to show their face. So this can be one person, rather, one man. There's only one man whose audacious enough to arrive at his own party so late.
Good evening, ladies and gents. Enjoying the party. I hope I'm not too late in welcoming you all to the right mansion.
You know, I, who was raised in the spotlight and simply grew used to its presence, he sought it out every chance he could, even when there was no spotlight that shone. I never put it against him when he smiles like that. He does so quite brilliantly under the scrutiny when he channels his showmanship. You can tell by the way people's eyes light up as he speaks. How are they listening, enraptured at even if all he's doing is simple greeting. He'd wave his hand as a serious message, a little smile there, and a bit of a swagger. And they always tell always tell him that if he is not to be a businessman, he as well as be an entertainer. I've decided him, especially when he gets at me and he beckons me over to humbly share his case. When a single sadness waits as I introduce myself on the better side and make my way to use.
Welcome, one and all, to our humble abode. Tonight, if you have yet to find yourself in your roles, you are all ladies and lords of the court of your king and queen, if you would excuse my presumptuousness. So, enjoy the feast that has been laid out for your senses as we only allowed the best to be served. Enjoy the rest of your night, everyone!
There's a round of applause, cheers, and even some hoots. Guests approach us left and right to shake each hand and greet him personally, praises on their lips. It is because of this that I do not see her. I do not see her until she's dangerously close. With a few in her eyes, she's already spitting venom. Oh. Johann restrains her, taking care to not unnecessarily harm the pregnant woman. Well, that does little to deter her rage, and the man has no choice but to get her dough. Yes, an unborn child is hurt. Although it might be too late for that, as I empty the glass of wine in her hand. How much has she indulged in?
Are you feeling ill, Rochelle?
Did I talk it?
Perhaps you need to sit down and...
No! Shut it, you munter! I ain't talking to you! I'm talking to this scumbag over here! You bloody bastard standing there with your smarmy smile!
She interrupts me, jabbing her finger in my direction before she rounds on Ute. Even as whispers and murmurs break out upon the desk, all I can focus on is the heat of the moment. Obviously intoxicated, judged by the smell of alcohol on her breath. I'm not tipped off about the shooter spirit of hers, at least not yet. But I am absolutely pissed by the fact she endangered her own baby by drinking. Yeah. There's a considerable amount of restraint and grace that I must exercise while I wait for a tantrum to subside. I keep patient if tired, smile on my face. Ute's expression, on the other hand, is indecipherable.
Watch your tongue! You're on thin ice, Rochelle. Where's your husband? Who even invited you?
I did.
And I told you with great emphasis not to. Now we have a drunk, hormonal, pregnant woman causing a stir. What is even going on?
I'm just about to ask the exact same thing.
I don't know. But Rochelle, do calm down before you hurt yourself.
You have a hair, though. Hair's not it's tall.
I can't understand a word you're saying.
Where is that husband of yours? Lee! Collect your wife right now!
Don't you fucking talk like I'm not here and you're not responsible, you ass! You told me that I should wait for you in the gardens!
Excuse me, what is this nonsense you're going on about?
Crazy talk, that's all it is! Just completely and utterly mad! Has anyone seen the Chief Inspector?
I am pregnant with your little bastard! You promised me you'll take responsibility.
This is a holiday. But I do love drama.
God damn it, Luke! I finally got you to talk to me after months of silence, and you do this to me!
What? What?
What do you mean you're pregnant with... Luke, is this true?
Lies and slander, woman! Security! Johans, take her out of here before she makes an even bigger fool of herself!
No, you do not do this to me! I was so ready to leave my stupid oaf of a husband. I told you to leave that damn wife of yours. Look at her. Does she look like she wants a baby? Does she look like she could take care of a baby?
It is now that Johans returns from security, along with a concerned Eugene Officer Yi. They surround her and move to restore her hysterical woman. Judged by his pale face, he's heard the whole thing, and I feel nothing but pity for the man.
I'm so sorry for her behaviour. She's been under a lot of stress and the alcohol. talking nonsense, that's all it is. You're not allowed to drink because of the baby, Shelley. What are you thinking?
Nothing to see here, people. Move along.
Is there really nothing here but ramblings of a drunt? Yes, that's right. There's no other way that what Rochelle says the truth. What she says doesn't match up. I know Ute. If such a standardist meeting are to be arranged, he won't do it in such a disposed place, especially not near his precious flowers. And he definitely won't promise responsibility of a child, yes, it can't be helped. Besides, Ute will never... He'll never go so far as to sleep with a woman, right? Okay, fine, who am I kidding? If I am to be pretty honest with myself, he might cheat. With a bit of temptation, a bit of alcohol, he just might. And that doesn't just make my blood boil to even think of the slightest impossibility of infidelity. He isn't too far off when he told me how Ute still acted yet some young hotshot bachelor. Oh God, no! Oh God! Right. Perhaps the break is needed. I need to work for my happy ending. But if he's a bastard, a cheated one of that. Oh, I don't want to make these decisions. Oh. Oh wait, I need to work for my happy ending, so that's Better's thing about trying to make peace and work things together. So give him a second chance, or basically have a step back from it all. Oh. I'm gonna flip a coin. Heads is Brayter. Tails, I'm gonna work on it. Heads is Brayter. Apparently it's the happy-ended one. It takes two to handle. Am I happy with that choice? I don't know. Because if this is true, I am angry and appalled. And I feel bad for Hannah. Better's words are still fresh in my mind. And I can't help but think that dull, pretty woman actually has a point. If I love you, I have to fight for him, don't I? So far I've been doing nothing and sitting on behind hoping it'll fix itself. It's improved! This whole mess definitely isn't going to fix itself. How dare that woman try to drag our name and our relationship through the mud with her eyes. I don't know. Blame the coin. Determination fires me up as I take a step forward into the middle of the fray. All the while she's been streaming. I send for security to stop her, and I can already feel the joy on my face as I stare into hers. She wilts as soon as she sees me. She's out the anxious and her protest dies down. I can see her haughty Andrew express intense to horrified realization. Rightfully so, she should be scared. What is the thing they say again? Never await a sleeping dragon? They often feign that Ute is the one in charge, that he is the one to be feared and appeased. They feign me as the pretty wife. They forget that I am just capable of just as worthy of respect.
I invite you, my friend, into my house on a day of merriment. And you insult my name and accuse my husband of infidelity.
Nothing was proven. Oh, I don't know.
What have I ever done to make you treat us with such disrespect?
I don't know if I did the right choice.
You are no longer welcome in any of our states. our properties, and our businesses. And we will no longer patronize yours.
It was a tournament, so...
Now, escort the girl and make sure she isn't standing even an inch within our grounds.
She is devastated. Reasonable. This does make her into a pariah, doesn't it? I should feel discerned, but I tend to find even an ancient of mercy within me. I don't know what her plan was. I don't know what she wanted me to make out of this. The money? The ute? Doesn't matter what she wanted.
You won't show your face to me ever again if you know what is good for you, Rochelle.
What if she was telling the truth? She has to be telling the truth.
Take her away.
I'm directing the toin. The tension is fit in the air, and the silence and the braced room is so set that one can practically hear a pin drop. There are worried and almost fearful glances from some of the guests, but they all know that it is well within my right. She is one who started this whole dilemma. It just so happens that I'm the one ending it. She wants everyone to hold their tongue and don't interfere. None of the consequences matter to me. Except when my dying instant me with a different shine in his eyes. I would have chosen a different choice, but I'm interested in the story. I don't feel right. It always seems as if he's proud of what I've done, and that spurs me on more than anything. Nevertheless, I still act upset because this does not change what just happened. He still has a lot to answer to. Because even if the woman is lying, there's always an inkling of truth in every eye. So when I turn to him and say the shot he displays brings me reputation is an understatement. Of course, there's no reason to make a husband and wife spat in a public spectacle. Some privacy will generate the least number of headaches and complications. Everyone's far too busy, and the boring, and most of the staff are still in the kitchen. A sharp glance at anyone who would go through the doors is all it takes to make them retreat. And the most private we can get without me dragging you all the way to our bedroom is the foyer.
And you. We are going to talk about this, Lucille Mitchell-Wright. Not now, but we will talk about this.
Right! I swear that is not my child, no matter what that woman says. Hannah, darling, you believe me, don't you?
I believe that it isn't your child. But you never said that you did not cheat on me with her. We'll have a talk about that tomorrow, among other things.
What for? What other things?
About us, Luke. This isn't right, this doubting each other and not talking. That's why we'll talk. If anyone needs me, I'll be in our room. I'm in no mood to be talking with anyone about anything, especially nosy beggars who have no business with any of it.
Should I be worried? Scared? Because you know threats do not work with me, Hannah.
None of those. You should know I'm not your enemy, Luke.
His boots. He is.
I need rest. That's all.
Of course, you must be so tired. You've earned some peace.
Oh my god, he's...
I'll take over the party from here.
Good night, love.
Good night, Buttercup.
Wow, that was very reactive. Sometimes I forget that even you to handle a party is a horrible idea. Okay. I'm gonna leave that there. I'll give that little drama settle in. Did I make the right choice on that last one? I don't know. I literally froze because, frankly, I don't... There has to be truth to it. Because why else would you do the reaction? Or maybe I'm just more intrigued to see where the story goes. Story. I'm more intrigued than anything else. It is a fascinating game. Very fascinating. For this horror drama dome. Yes, indeed. Anyway. I'll leave you on that note. I hope you had fun. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you enjoyed the drama. Because I certainly did. So, that'll do. I will see ya. Have a good one. And, I don't know. Be careful with ballroom parties next time, I guess. Ciao.